Welcome to the Activated Story Theater's 197th podcast.
This episode we bring you Out of Season, a story from Yugoslavia.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly.
And together we are the Activated Actors.
We are coming to you from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina.
And Kill Devil Hills, if that doesn't sound familiar, it's where the Wright Brothers made their historic flights.
We are just down the street from where they took off and took flight for the very first time that man has ever taken flight.
Now, I know you think it was Kitty Hawk, but actually it was reported that way because at that time there was no town at Kill Devil Hills. Kitty Hawk was the closest town. But
is it now incorporated as Kill Devil Hills?
Yes.
And Kitty Hawk is down the street, right?
Yes.
So it's all along the outer banks of North Carolina. There are all kinds of activities here. We are right by the beach. You can go surfing in the waves. You can go paragliding. You can learn how to hang glide. And you can fly kites.
And we've been doing a lot of boogie boarding, whatever you call it. I think it's called a bodyboard.
No,
but
we've been doing, I always call it boogie boarding. Anyway, we've been doing a lot of boogie boarding along the North Carolina coast. We've been very reluctant to leave North Carolina. We love the warm water and the beaches, and we've been having a lot of fun here.
And we even went to the beach with a friend of ours from California who happened to be out here.
Yes.
Okay, now since we last talk to you, we have been doing quite a bit of interesting things.
We have, and we've got videos of all of the activities that we've been doing up on our Activated Adventures website. You can find that at activatedadventures.com. There's a YouTube channel to go with that. We have been...
Well, we went diamond digging in Arkansas.
Yes, we went looking for diamonds in the one and only place that the public can go looking for diamonds and keep what you find.
The only place in the whole world.
In the whole world.
And that's in Murfreesboro, Arkansas. Didn't find any diamonds.
Oh, I know, but it was still fun looking.
Found a lot of jasper.
And we got a lot of mud on us.
Yes. And we also went gold panning in North Carolina.
And we did find gold.
A little bit, little tiny speck.
It's gold, it counts.
And that's called the John Reed Gold Mine, and it's actually where the first gold rush in the U.S. started. It was not in California. This was about 50 years before the one in California.
And I thought it was really interesting. The very first piece of gold that was found in America was 17 pounds, and they did not know what it was. For 2 years, this 17 pounds of gold just served as a doorstop. Until they finally went to town and said, what is this? Can you give me some money for it?
And the guy sold it for $3.50.
Oh, I bet he's just still kicking himself for that.
And at the time, it was worth $3,600.
$3,600 at that time.
Which is equivalent to today about $73,000.
Oh, anyway.
So he got taken.
Yeah, he did. But the gold mine, the gold rush began there in the U.S. and people came and they kept finding gold and kept finding it, and people are finding it today. You can go find gold yourself. It's like $3 to get a pan and see if you're lucky. See if you're one of the lucky ones that can actually find the gold. And there's a mine there too you can go in.
Right, one of the old gold mines that they
really
used.
Cool place. I like that one.
And we were in Atlanta, and one thing we love to do in Atlanta is go to the Center for Puppetry Arts.
And play with puppets.
Play with puppets and
see puppet shows.
See puppet shows. They had a very good production of Beauty and the Beast this time.
It was excellent. It was really good. We had a great time there building puppets and
seeing some of the old puppets on display. And there's especially a lot of material about Jim Henson.
No, he was incredible. I cannot imagine a world that did not have Jim Henson. We are so fortunate that he brought his creativity, and I really admire him.
Yes, absolutely. He was a pioneer, and he was a pioneer. One of the most amazing things is in the beginning, he really did not know that much about it.
I love the story of how he began puppetry and the Muppets. He saw an ad for a local station was looking for people to do puppets on a children's show. He didn't know a thing about it, so he went to the library, did some research, learned what he could, and went down, I guess, the next week, and they hired him, and the rest is history.
And a lot of the Muppets that he used over the years are on display here at the Puppetry Center. It's part museum, part theater, part activity center.
Yeah, it's an event center. A museum doesn't do it justice. It's interactive. They teach classes there. You can make puppets. Very interactive center. Center, I guess, is the right word for it.
Okay, let's get on to our story.
But first, can I tell them about the horses and the bears?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, we got to see wild horses here in North Carolina. We took a ferry out to Shackleford Island, and we saw at least 14 wild horses. And just the other day, we woke up about 5 a.m. in the morning before the sun got up, and we went I want to say bear hunting, but we didn't hunt the bears. We just went looking for bears.
This was at Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge in North Carolina. And they don't have very many alligators. We didn't see any at all.
We didn't.
But we saw a lot of bears. They also have some red wolves, which are very rare. They're close to extinction.
They are almost extinct. That's a very sad story about the wolves. Wolves just got a bad reputation. I guess a lot of it's because of the folk tales.
Yes.
But wolves are so good for the ecological system, and we really need the wolves. They used to reign in North America from, I think, about Minnesota down to
through a good
Louisiana.
Yes, a good portion of the eastern part of the United States.
I'd say almost about half of the United States.
Yes.
Red wolves that was their territory. They got hunted out, and they are in pretty much just in the National Wildlife Refuge, and there are
only about 200 left.
There are 200 in captivity. There are, I believe, 20 left in the wild.
In the wild, yeah.
And this year, they did not produce any pups. And they are, so it's not looking good for the red wolves at all. So I'm very sad. I'm so sorry to have to report that. But the bears were great. We had a good time seeing the bears. Very elusive, but we do have some video of them. The video of horses is going up this week, and then next week we'll be airing the video of the bears. So be watching for that on our Activated Adventures channel.
All right, now let's get on to our story.
Out of Season, a story from Yugoslavia.
Long, long ago, in a country that is no longer even there, a girl named Anka lived with her stepmother Marta and her stepsister Gretchen. And you know how stepsisters and stepmothers sometimes are mean in these stories, not like in real life at all. And that's the way they were in this story too. Anka, aren't you finished with your housework yet?
Almost, ma'am.
Good. Because once you finish with the housework, you can do the chores.
Yeah, and then after that, you can do some menial tasks, whatever that means.
One day, the stepmother Marta said to her, Anka, I've been craving some strawberries. Go out and fetch some.
Strawberries? But this is December, and the ground is covered with snow.
I didn't ask for a weather report. I just want some strawberries. Now go out and get some.
Yeah, and don't come back until you do.
So Anka went out walking in the snow, looking in desperation for some strawberries. She never found any, but when she went up into the mountains, she saw smoke, and she followed it to a fire. And sitting around the fire were 12 strange men and women. At the highest seat was a man in a white robe with long white hair and a beard.
Hello? Sorry to trouble you, but could I warm myself by your fire?
The man in the white robe and long white hair and beard replied, Of course, young one, be our guest. What brings you out here on such a wintry day?
I'm looking for strawberries.
Strawberries? But they're out of season now.
I know, but my stepmother and stepsister sent me out to look for them and told me not to come back without them.
That wasn't very sporting of them.
I know. I may be out here until spring.
Well, maybe spring will come a lot sooner than you expect. Oh, April.
Yes, December.
How would you like to change seats with me for a little while?
Oh, I'd be glad to. This rock I'm sitting on is getting very uncomfortable. I always look forward to my own turn to sit in that seat.
It's only for a short time, you understand. Just until a few strawberries pop out.
Yes, of course.
And so April, a young woman in a long green robe, traded places with December. And immediately...
Oh, wow! It stopped snowing, and the sun is coming out, and I hear robins tweeting. Yes, indeed. And if you look over in those bushes, you'll find your strawberries. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh, you're most welcome. Now you must hurry along because we can keep the springtime here for only a short while before we return to our regularly scheduled programming.
So Anka searched in the bushes where she found some beautiful ripe strawberries. She quickly gathered some into her apron and headed back toward home. And back at home...
Yay! We finally got rid of that goody-goody stepsister of mine.
Yes, isn't it grand? I can throw a big party for my friends without having her around to embarrass me by being so good.
Hello, I'm home.
Huh?
And I brought you strawberries just like you wanted.
Oh, that's terrific. We knew you could do it, of course. But, there is something else we want now. Right, Gretchen?
Huh? Yes. I want, let me see. Oh, I want some violets. Violets? But they're really out of season.
Stop your sass and get out and get us some violets. And don't come back until you do.
Yes, ma'am.
So again, she went into the mountains, this time looking for violets. Did she find any? Of course not. But she came again to the strange circle of men and women around the fire.
Greetings, my friends.
You again, back for more strawberries, eh?
Oh, no, not this time. Oh, they sent me in search of some violets.
Violets? They're really out of season.
I know, but they told me not to come back until I find some. I'm afraid I'll be out here until June.
Yes?
I said I may be out here until June.
Yes, that's my name. What can I do for you?
Oh, I just wish your month was here. Then maybe the violets would be in bloom.
Well, now, I think we might be able to do something about that. June, would you like to change seats with me for a moment?
Oh, I suppose so. I guess it would be an interesting switch to put things out of their usual order.
And so June, a young woman in a light blue gown, traded places with December.
Wow! All of a sudden, the sun is shining. Oh, and the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are buzzing.
Yes. Now you'd better hurry out to the meadow and find your violets before people notice the weather is different and start thinking their calendars need to be reprogrammed. Humans are so easily disoriented, you know?
So Anka went searching in a nearby meadow.
Violets! Oh, they're as blue as in the nursery rhymes. Oh, and there are some poppies over there, too. Oh, but I better stay away from those.
She quickly gathered up a bunch of violets in her apron, and then the snow began returning.
I guess they switched seats again.
And she rushed back home, where Marta and Gretchen were again celebrating.
So, what do you think we should do with her room?
Maybe we could, rent it out.
I was thinking I could start a bagpipe collection, or maybe... Hello, I'm back.
Huh?
And I have your violets.
Oh, that's just lovely. Now I get to have hay fever in the middle of winter. You have a nasty habit of coming home unexpectedly. But there's no need to take your coat off. We have another errand for you.
That's right. We would like you to go get us some...
Apples.
Yeah, apples.
But they're really out of season now.
Giving us your sass again, are you? Haven't you learned yet? Go out and bring us some apples, and we don't want to see you again without them.
Yes, ma'am.
So once again, she went out into the mountains in search of apples. Bear in mind, there were no Walmart supercenters back then. And do you think she found any apples? Of course not. But you can probably guess what she did find.
Hello again.
Well, you seem to be very good at finding your way, young lady. You keep finding us when we thought we were so well hidden.
Actually, I'm no good with directions. I keep finding you by accident. Oh, but I'm glad I did. You have a very nice warm fire.
And I assume you're out on another shopping trip?
I'm afraid so.
And what did they send you after this time?
Apples?
Apples? But they're really out of season.
Tell me about it.
Well, don't fret. I think we may just have a solution to your problem. September. And a gray-haired woman in a yellow robe replied,
Yo!
How about changing seats with me for a while?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really like being in that high seat. You know, whenever it's my season, I get really sad because all the leaves start falling and, oh, I hate to see those leaves go. They're so beautiful and I miss them so much.
No, it's just for a little while. Just long enough for a few apples to pop out. There won't be very many leaves fall during that time. And it would really help our guest. How about it?
Well, when you put it that way, I guess so. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, don't mention it. Just hurry up and get your apples before we have some serious climate change.
So September took the high seat from December, and immediately it got a little warmer, and the leaves started turning brown.
Okay, I'll hurry.
And Anka quickly filled up her apron with apples just as the snowflakes were returning, and she headed back home where Marta and Gretchen were already starting to clean out her room. I think we should paint the room black. What do you think?
I was thinking of pews and chartreuse.
Hello, I'm back.
Huh?
And I brought your apples.
So you did.
They're probably bitter and full of worms and cockroaches.
Well, let's just give them the taste test, shall we? They're actually quite delicious.
Let me see. So they are.
Didn't you bring more than that?
No, I'm afraid I didn't.
I bet she ate the rest of them herself.
No, I didn't, honestly.
Then why are there no more?
Well, because I had to climb over a fence into the orchard to get them, and then a big dog came, and I am terrified of dogs, so I ran away.
Oh, you silly little girl. If a dog bites you, just bite it back. I'll show you how it's done. You two stay here and start making a huge crust for an apple pie. I'll go and get us some more apples myself. So she headed up into the mountains looking for the apples. Did she find them? Of course not. But she did find the strange 12 men and women sitting in a circle around the fire. Hey there, silly people. Which way is the apple orchard? Apple orchard? What apple orchard? Don't give me that. My stepdaughter came home with some delicious apples, but she didn't bring enough of them. I'm here to get more. Now tell me where the orchard is, or I'll sue you. I see. Well, in that case, you should go along that path farther up into the mountains. That's more like it. See you later, suckers. Okay, gang. I think we can all agree now that when the weather gets a little warmer, We need to seek out a new hideaway that's a little harder to find." So Marta continued walking. Did she find the apples? Of course not. She just found snow, and more snow, and even more snow. You'd think the sky would run out of the stuff sooner or later. No, she never found any apples, and no one ever found her again. Meanwhile, back at home...
Mama's been gone for an awfully long time. What have you done with her?
I haven't done anything. I've been right here.
Well, you must have given her bad directions.
No, I just told her what direction I went to find the apples. But you know, she probably found them and is eating them all for herself instead of bringing you some.
No! She knows how much I love apples. I'll go find her to make sure she didn't get lost. And if you're right, I'm gonna tell Mama on you. No, wait, if you're wrong, I'm gonna tell Mama on you. Either way, I'm gonna tell Mama on you.
And so she went off into the mountains in search of Marta. Did she find her? No. And Gretchen was never seen again either. And now they'll never be found again, since the country they lived in isn't even there anymore. Probably the same thing happened to both of them. I don't know. What I do know is that Anka had the house all to herself, and she finally had some peace and quiet.
And she did not paint her room black or puce and chartreuse.
And that's the story of Out of Season from the former Yugoslavia.
How come I haven't heard that story before?
Well, you've heard one similar. Vasalisa from Russia.
Vasalisa, it's like a take on a Cinderella story. And Vasalisa is the Russian Cinderella story. But this is also very much a Cinderella story. There's so many different Cinderella stories around the world. It's a very popular motif. It comes back over and over again.
Yes, now we call it the former Yugoslavia, and we say it's no longer there because a few years ago, Yugoslavia was broken up into smaller countries, including Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia, and Slovenia.
Wow, this is all from memory, by the way. That was impressive.
It's broken up into about 6 or 7 countries.
And I was going to say, too, that we are currently doing a Cinderella story from Egypt that you could see on stage at one of our upcoming shows. We're going to be performing in Massachusetts next. On August 3rd, we will be at the Eldridge Library on Cape Cod.
Yay!
That is in Chatham. And that show will be August 3rd at 10:30. And that is free and open to the public. Please come to the show if you like to be a part of the show. If you're age 6 to about age 12 and you're interested in being on stage with us, be there a half hour before any of our shows. And we will show you what to do. Get you, maybe have some lines. You have a small part in the show. Get to wear a costume and get to meet us before the show begins. So you'll be there at 10 o'clock for that show if you want to be in it.
On Wednesday, August 7th, we're going to be at the Abington Library, Abington, Massachusetts at 2 p.m.
And that one is also free and open to the public. If you want to be in the show, come at 1:30.
On Wednesday, the 14th, we will be at the Cambridge Library, 2 p.m., Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Yes. On Tuesday, the 20th, we are going to be at the Acton Memorial Library. That's also in Massachusetts, and that show starts at 10:30.
On Wednesday, the 21st, we have 2 shows. At 10:30 in the morning, we have the Franklin Library in Massachusetts. And then at 7 p.m., we end our summer tour with the Wellesley Library, Wellesley, Massachusetts.
So we hope to see you at one of the shows this summer. The summer's got one more month in it, but we would love to see you at one of the shows. And then there will be more shows in September. We will tell you about that in the next podcast. Do you know that we've been podcasting since 2006?
I do.
We haven't run out of stories yet. In fact, we've got our 200th episode coming up.
Yes, and there are plenty of stories left in the world.
If you have any suggestions for any stories that we haven't done or versions that we haven't done yet, please leave us some comments and we will be happy to look at those. But we've got more stories we are eager to share with you.
Okay, that's it for this time. We'll see you next month.
Catch you later.
Activated Story Theater is committed to bringing fun, educational shows to schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use physical comedy, American Sign Language, imaginative props, and a giant oversized book to bring multicultural folktales to life. For booking information, check out our website, activatedstorytheater.com, where you can also find out when the activated actors will be performing near you, read a story, or order one of our audio CDs. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or listen on Stitcher. We look forward to your comments and folktale suggestions. Stay activated. Until next time.